Good morning. So this morning we've got these. We've got two cherry trees. One is a triple stem cherry tree, and then there's one behind it, similar size to one of the stems. So those two trees are coming down. They're pretty much dead, but there's maybe like 5% live growth left on them, just like kind of one branch sticking out the side, but then other than that they're completely dead. So today is the perfect test because I've got three smallish stems and then one stem to take down. I keep getting asked all the time by everybody whenever I post about the Husqvarna battery powered chainsaw, how long does it last, how long does it last? So today is a good test because how long does it last is a silly question because it depends on what you're doing. Pruning, I'd say it's going to last all day long because you're making small cuts. You're not using the saw. You're not running it for very often. You're running it for a couple of seconds here and there. Obviously, when it gets into bigger wood, that's when it eats the battery up. So I'm going to take these trees down, but I'm going to piece them down in 14-inch sections because it's going to go for firewood. So I'm actually going to do that as I come down. So I'm going to make a lot of cuts and we'll see how long the battery lasts. Okay, just before we get going, I want to show you the power on the battery. So I'll just get this lined up here. So hold down this button and you can see it's 4 lights, which means it's fully charged. So we know it's fully charged, and now we're going to see how it gets on throughout the day. So really simple takedown, perfect drop zone. The branches I'm going to have to kind of drop down here, but other than that, very, very straightforward. So this video is more about seeing how the saw performs. So here we go. I've got the 3 kind of smaller stems down, well, down to like 10 feet. That tree on its own is down to 15 feet, and I've just got the main stem to do, which is the thickest of the 3. So we'll just have a battery check. That's pretty good. So we've still got 3 bars. I was probably thinking about 2 left, but 3 bars is pretty good, so we've still got some time to work. Just a little, well, it's not really a tip, it's more of a recommendation, or it's definitely a best part of the best practices, is when you're on a stem, you should have one of a few configurations for your main line as an escape line. So obviously you've got to have 2 attachment points, so you can have your main rope lower than your lanyard. So if you're working on a doubled rope system, the recommended way to do it is have a choking friction saver. So basically, if you take a fall, instead of there being the chance of if you just got your rope around, that you're actually sliding down and sliding until you maybe catch on a little stub or something, your choking cambium saver shouldn't really move all that much, and it should catch you straight away. So you can see here, obviously this is a really skinny stem, but I've cinched it right up as tight as it'll go, and so that's my choked friction saver. And then I've got my main line here. The other ways you can do it, if you're working on a single rope, obviously you can have a choked system like a running bowline, or choked off with an alpine butterfly, or any of those configurations. But this is the recommended one for a doubled rope kind of traditional climbing system, as it were. So we're down to the last 20 feet or so. Now we're getting a little bit thicker. Obviously this is cherry, so it's pretty hard wood already. This is probably, I don't know, what is that, 9-10 inches, and it's cherry, and the Husky's still cutting through it. It's still on the first battery. It's not going through it as good as a gas powered saw would do. That's for the American audience, petrol for the Brits. But yeah, it's still going through, so it's pretty impressive, so we'll keep going. Okay, so there we have it. The saw has run out of power. So if you press the battery button now, it's flashing red, like a red warning triangle. You can still turn it on, still has the green light there, but if you pull the trigger, you get this warning triangles flashing even though the chain brake's not on. So yeah, completely out of battery. So we're at about 10 feet, so I've brought these 3 stems down to 10 feet, which is the one tree, and then the tree behind me is about 15 feet. You can see all the logs on the floor there. So obviously we've stripped the branches, we've pieced down all these logs, and that's on one tank. And if we have a look up here, so this is 12-inch bar, so you can see it's like a 12 probably a 10.5 inch log. So you know, the last few cuts have been getting pretty big for a battery powered chainsaw with a hard wood like cherry. You know, so I had planned, before I even thought about doing this video, I had planned to use this saw just because it's quiet and, you know, it's an early morning, it's quite an easy day. But you know, you would probably use a different top handle if you've got a lot of piecing down to do it. Say if you're piecing all that wood down for firewood. But if you were to take this in larger pieces, I would have definitely used this chainsaw.